Hey everybody, Kenny Wisdom here, bringing you another Standard Monday, and this time we're going to play Virizion Genesect for what probably will be our last time, at least in the Standard format. Plasma Blast is rotating out, which means our pal Virizion-EX will rotate out of Standard. Will still be legal for Expanded, of course. Might see some play in the regionals in October, but I can't imagine that we'll be playing it again, seeing as a new set comes out soon. After Worlds, the rotation hits, and we start a whole new standard format. So, Virizion Genesect is one of my favorite decks. Been around for a long time, so I thought we would play it again and see how it went. I've made a few videos. I'm going to make this pretty short, but the main strategy is using Virizion's Emerald Slash attack to power up Genesect-EX. It's Megalo Cannon attack, as you can see on your screen, and also G Booster, which is kind of the big deal of the deck, being able to do 200, knock out anything besides some Megas, at the cheap cost of discarding 2 energy when you consider you have Virizion to power him up. This deck also has Raichu. Trying out Raichu, no DCEs in the deck, but we do have 4 energy switch, and Raichu's a good non-EX attacker, very good versus Rayquaza, so I thought we would try him out. In that same vein of reasoning, we have a Mewtwo EX. Again, just lots of energy switch. Maybe X-Ball can be good sometimes. Not too sure about that one. Just want to try it out and see what happens. Lone Jirachi just to get some supporters. Pretty normal supporter count. Pretty normal card count besides the Raichu and Mewtwo. We've got 10 grass energy. Some people go lower. I've seen anywhere from 8 to 10. I like the as much as you can, pretty much. 4-4 on Juniper and N with 1 on the rest, except Skylo with 4 VS Seeker. Definitely loaded up on the supporters there. And yeah, pretty standard deck, so we're going to hop into a standard tournament and see what happens. Hey everybody, Kenny Wisdom here, back for round 1 of this standard tournament. Looks like we're going to go second. Um, hmm. Not an ideal start by any means. Going first with Virizion is really important, as you really want to um, attach an energy on turn 1 and on turn 2, an Emerald Slash. But going second is fine, but the main thing is you really want to start with the Virizion. So we're going to have to go ahead, Skyla here for an Ultra Ball. And then gonna go ahead and Ultra Ball like this. I think. Yeah, Lysander Mewtwo seems fine. Could consider getting a Jirachi here, but I think just trying to maximize our chances of turn 2 Virizion is what we want to be doing. And it looks like we're gonna get toaded. Alright, so, we should have played the Versus Seeker in our hand for the Lysander as well, knowing that our opponent was playing Seismitoad. Thankfully, our opponent's doing a pretty low amount of damage every turn. I'm gonna go ahead and switch up this guy. Also, very possible that, oh, our opponent just concedes. Okay, well, our opponent was definitely ahead on board there and in cards in hand and had a huge advantage, but I guess sometimes our opponent doesn't want to play against our deck. So what I was saying was it's also totally reasonable to attach the Plasma to the Virizion up front and hope to draw the grass. My only fear was a hammer hitting us and kind of pampering that plan, whereas maybe the dragging the red signal on the Trubbish can help us to draw an item to play. Definitely consideration there. Not sure where our opponent scooped. Even if I was our opponent and my hand was 3 water energy, I would still keep playing. I think, although they're not a favorite in the matchup, I do think they are a huge favorite in that game. They have a Seismitoad going. With a DZE, they have another one with a water. They have the Trubbish to turn off our ability eventually. I don't know why they conceded there. They must have just had to go, but I'll see you in round two. Hey guys, Kenny Wisdom here, back with round two. Let's hope we get a better match out of this one. And we will choose to go first. Like I was saying at the beginning of the last game, going first is really important, and starting with Virizion is really important. I know if you've watched my other Virizion videos, you'll have heard this information before, but one of the things I really like about the deck is that you can start with not a whole lot going on, as long as you have a Virizion, a Genesect, and 2 energy like we do here, and you can oftentimes win the game just off of that. So we're going to go ahead and attach. I'm going to Plasma Ball for another Genesect. And I'm just going to pass the turn back. Maybe I can fake having no supporters to my opponent. I have the second grass and the G booster in hand, so I don't really want to dig for anything. Our opponent should have a pretty slow setup with his Venusaur. Nice, passing with no supporters is always what we want to see. And same logic, I'm not going to go ahead and waste my resources. I'd rather just attack and attach 2 energy. Yeah, Poison Powder won't really matter too much. Note that we don't have a second or a third energy in our hand, rather, for the Genesect, so we'll just we'll have the decision of either playing a supporter to dig for it, or just Emerald Slashing again, and probably just building up on the second Genesect, honestly, which is probably what I'll end up doing. No reason not to take this time while we can. And now we have 2 Genesects that both just need an energy left. We have a switch, so we don't have to discard off of our Virizion. And we have what we'll probably end up playing is a Juniper rather than the N, seeing as our opponent hasn't played any supporters. Ship the turn back. So we'll attach like this. Attach like this. So we have 80. So we'll need to do 100. So let's switch here. And then we will Juniper. Just go ahead and Megalo Cannon for the knockout. 20 on the low punny, I believe that is down there. Yeah, low punny. Take 2 prizes, and we've got the red signal, the G booster up in EX if our opponent plays one next turn. We have plenty of cards in our hand to work with, and our opponent has no energy on board with only a low punny. Feeling pretty good. If our opponent passes here, it will just be game. Unfortunately for them, yeah, so we're just going to go ahead. Let me make sure that there's no resistance or anything. Nope. Just going to go ahead and Megalo Cannon for the knockout and the game. So 2 short games so far. That game, I think, again, I've said this before if you're a fan of my videos, but that game really showcased the power of Virizion Genesect. There are a lot of times where, like, we didn't play a supporter until turn 4 there. And even then, we could have just traded with our opponent, traded the Virizion for the Venusaur, and not had to act for another 3 or 4 turns. So, not the greatest game, but did showcase how the deck works a little bit. So we'll see you in the finals. Hey guys, Kenny Wisdom here, back for the finals of this standard tournament. We'll be going second. Hopefully we get a better match than we have in the past few. Not a great hand by any means, but a Juniper can reset it all, and also a lucky Virizion-EX top deck is fine. Our opponent starts with Skarmory, Call for Family, and 2 Malamar-EXs. Interesting. Well, Malamar's not going to be great versus Virizion. Pikachu is in pretty nice draw there. You know, I would normally attach this plasma energy, but I really think we want to maximize our chances of Virizion with the grass on it, which we hit, so that feels pretty nice. No reason to drop the third Genesect here. I'm just gonna go ahead and pass the turn. Unfortunately, we don't have a whole lot going in our hand next turn, but we do have just the attach to Virizion, evolve to evolve to Raichu rather, and see what happens. Professor's Letter is a nice draw there. Just get 2 grass. I don't really care about our Genesect waking up. I'll just attach and retreat next turn. Although this Malamar could be a problem if he just attaches, retreats, or switches, and then hits 3 heads. That'll be hard on us, but not the worst. Something like Silent Lab here, even though it's very not conducive with what our opponent's doing, would actually be pretty hard here too. Alright. So let's... do we Skyla for the switch or just attach retreat? Probably need a Skyla for actual cards. Let's just go ahead here. Retreat. I'll Skyla for a Colress. Is that right? No. Let's just get Juniper. Actually, let's get Colress. We can drop some. We can drop some guys. Do 50. Attach Genesect, and now both of our Pokemon are safe from Malamar. Hyper Hypnosis ability. A retreat here. Look, 3 heads could do it for us. That would be pretty rough, but let's see what happens. Ooh, 3 tails. Wow. That's a bad beat. Yeah, let's just go ahead and drop like this and Colress. Let's see, so I don't want to send up the Genesect and have it potentially get knocked out by a lucky Maximar. So I'll just go ahead and attack and build up a second Genesect. Our opponent can attach a 4th energy, but even then they'd have to go 3-1 on tails to knock us out. Ooh, Pokemon Center there is actually pretty nice. You know, it puts a significant dent in what we did last turn. Thanks to Virizion's Emerald Slash, though, we did get value out of the last turn. A Hard Charm, too. Wow. So I need to G-Booster this guy. Alright, 2 heads, 2 tails. Running pretty reasonably. So let's go ahead and energy switch here to here. Week 2 fighting, yeah, okay. And then let's Ultra Ball, whoops, like this. Thin our deck out a bit because we're just going to Versus Seeker for a Skyla. Play the Skyla, get the G Booster. Attach here. Retreat. G Booster actually may have been... I think that was actually a mistake. We should have attached, or we should have energy switched to the Genesect we currently have active now, so that because our opponent has no energy, they're not going to knock us out, and we could just attach and knock out the EX again. As it is, we still have the chance to do that. We can still find an energy switch, but that was definitely an oversight. I forgot we had the Skyland discard, so I was just trying to kind of hedge our bets, but with the Skyland discard, we should have had no fear. Let's go ahead and attach. No reason to save the attachment because I want to attack this Malamar. And let's Versus Seeker for Skyla again. And we'll find an energy switch. Skyla is just so good in this deck. We'll switch one of these over here. And then we will G-Booster for the knockout. And now our opponent's in a tough spot. We don't have a Skylo left, but we can red signal up anything. And then I'll just Juniper next turn if I have to try and find an energy switch. Not too concerned. If our opponent plays anything like a Jirachi, for instance, we just have the game via Megalo Cannon. And with no energy on board, it's going to be pretty tough for our opponent to win from this point. And yeah, so these games, haven't been all that interesting, but hopefully they have showed you guys how the deck works. If you guys don't know, again, Virizion's one of my favorite decks. I think it's been one of the biggest and best decks since it came out, and I think there's a clear reason why. And it's waned in popularity recently. Some people have talked about it as a contender for Worlds, I know that, but as of late, it hasn't been too good. Looks like we're going to get a inactive win. Nice, so that's a first. But yeah, as I was saying, recently it hasn't been too good, but people have been talking about it for Worlds. Certainly always a threat of a deck, and also because of the acceleration and because you're just trying one type of energy, you have the ability to play cards like Mewtwo, like Raichu, which never came into effect here, but certainly can in the long run. And yeah, like I said, with the format changing, this is probably going to be the last time we're going to play Virizion. I'm sure you guys are happy about that. But yeah, let me know what you want me to play in next week's Standard Monday, and for Expanded Friday, I think I'm gonna play Durant. If you guys don't want to see that, just let me know. But as of now, that's the plan. My name is Kenny Wisdom, and thank you for watching.